Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and to a meal prep video. I feel like it's been ages since I did one of these. So this afternoon I spent 2 hours meal prepping for the week ahead, and I'm going to show you 2 dinners, a breakfast, a healthy lunch, snacks and a treat as well. So I hope you really enjoy this video and it motivates you guys. I love meal prepping when I can because it just sets you up for a busy week. And also when you're getting the kitchen messy from cooking, you might as well make loads of mess and just clean up once. So yeah, I'm excited to show you all of these recipes, and I will of course link them in the description down below, and I'll put timestamps on this video as well. And yeah, if you do like this kind of content, definitely give it a big thumbs up, because then I know that you enjoy this kind of thing, and I would also love you to subscribe if you're new around here. But with all that said, let's get into the cooking. So when I meal prep, I tend to start with the recipe that takes the longest amount of time. So first up, I'm going to make a huge batch of turkey chili. I love this recipe. It's a really hearty recipe, but it's also a little bit leaner than using beef. So I'm using obviously turkey mince today. And I just love chili because it freezes so well and it's really versatile because you can have chili on rice. Matt's favorite way to have it is on chips with cheese, or you can just have it with tortilla chips, or you just have it on its own. So it's a really good one, and obviously there's loads of veg in it for the kids. You don't have to make it that spicy. You can have it for lunches, so it's just a great one. So I'm making a huge batch. I've got 2 pounds of turkey mince, so I've browned that off first. Then I'm going to brown some onion and some peppers as well, and then once that's browned, you basically just chuck everything into a huge pot, and then this will probably need to simmer for about 45 minutes. So obviously I'm kind of chucking everything together, adding in some chicken broth and then a load of different spices, and then this can just be sat on the stove simmering away while I try and do everything else. So yeah, I'm just adding in a little bit of chili powder. Obviously I don't want it to be too spicy. Adding in some dark brown sugar, about a tablespoon of that. You can add in some hot sauce, but I'm actually not going to today because of the kids. But I'm going to add in some oregano, some cayenne pepper, like all of these spices we tend to have at home. And that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to leave that to simmer away, and obviously I'll come back to it a bit later on, and then I can package it all up so I can have some in the fridge, but then I can also have some in the freezer. You can put a load of it into a Ziploc bag and just freeze it. And next up, I'm going to make a chicken and broccoli bake. I've shared this a few times on Instagram, and whenever people remake it, they absolutely love it, and it's the easiest dinner to make. So I'll show you how, and I will of course link it in the description as well. But first up, you want to brown your chicken. So I've chopped up about 4 breasts of chicken, which is more than enough for our family. I'll probably get some lunches out of this as well. I'm going to season it and then make the sauce. So for the sauce, I actually normally add 2 cans of condensed soup, 1 chicken soup or 1 mushroom soup, but today I only had 1 can in stock, so I've added some mayonnaise to make up for it. You also add in a tablespoon of curry powder, which gives it a really nice taste, just mild curry powder, and then some milk as well. Give that a stir and then chop up a head of broccoli. You can actually cook this if you don't like it to be al dente, because this will be a little bit crunchy, but if you don't mind it, like I actually quite like it a bit more al dente, then this is fine. Just chuck it into a pan, add the browned chicken, and then add the sauce on top of it. And then you want to crunch up a bag of crisps and spread that on top of the chicken and broccoli. This just gives it a really nice crunch. And then you also add on some grated cheese. And then when you come to cook it, just cook it on 200 for 20 minutes, and we serve it with rice, and it's really delicious. Now I'm going to make a chicken tray bake for some Mexican lunch bowls. When I make it like this will give me and Matt some healthy dinners for about 3 days. So this will make about 6 portions. I'm really sorry if you're veggie. I know you might not want to see the chicken, but just to give you a little bit of inspiration. And I love to do a tray bake because again, you kind of put it on a tray, chuck it in the oven, and that is it. So I've put the chicken breasts, a red onion chopped up, and 2 peppers chopped up, and then I'm going to add some oil, like olive oil, and some taco seasoning as well. So I'm just sprinkling that on, and then I'm going to try and like mix it all together, season it as well, and then once it is all mixed together, I'm just going to chuck that into the oven for about 25 minutes until the chicken is all done. And then all you have to do is make up some rice. So I'm also going to make some white rice, and then I'll basically put it all together in some bowls. We have some glass like meal prep bowls that I use, and I'll add the rice, I add some black beans, some sweet corn, some coriander, and it's just a really nice healthy lunch. And while that's in the oven, I'm also going to make up some French toast for breakfast. So I've got some bread, some cinnamon, and some eggs. So I'm going to crack about 9 eggs into a tray, give it a good whisk, and add some cinnamon as well. I love to meal prep breakfasts because I feel like it just can really set you up for the day. And French toast is a great one, and so is pancakes and waffles, because they freeze really well. So I'm going to make up 3 batches today that will like last our boys 3 mornings. I'll keep one out in the fridge, and then I'll freeze the other 2, and then on a morning when I think, you know, we can have French toast today, I'll just pull it out of the freezer, pop them into the toaster. You can add some strawberries and maple syrup, and then that is it. They've got a really nice breakfast. There's about 1 egg on each piece of bread, you know, so there's some protein in there as well, and it's just a great one to kind of have up your sleeve, ready to go in the freezer. So in between flipping the French toast, obviously you can see I've still got the chili simmering. I'm waiting for the tray bake. I've got the French toast on. This is how I'm like trying to maximize my time. So while that's all happening, I'm just going to chop up some fruit and veg for the week. I find that having veg and fruit ready to go in the fridge is so great for snacks. When the kids say to me, oh, you know, I'm hungry, if you have healthy snacks ready to go, like the boys really like carrot sticks with hummus, or peppers really nice and sweet, or fruit as well, then they've got some healthy options that they can reach for as easily as they can like those more pre-packaged snacks. So I'm chopping up some peppers, carrots, and cucumber, and then I'm also going to wash fruit as well. So in between all of this, I'm still kind of just stirring the chili. I just kind of filmed this in real time so you could see what it's like. I shared a little Instagram reel of this meal prep, and there was a few comments saying, you know, how can you do that in 2 hours or 2.5 hours? And I'm filming as well, but you can kind of use all of your dead time. You can always be doing something. If you have something on the hob, something in the oven, you could have something in the air fryer, you could have something in the slow cooker, you can kind of like have it all going on. So yes, the tray bake is now done, and now I'm just washing off some of my fruit. I'm really loving having berries as like a bit of a dessert at the moment, so I'm going to wash some blueberries, some grapes, and some strawberries and raspberries as well. So we ended up getting a load of fruit in our shop this week, and then I'm going to put it all into these little containers. So I've got some strawberries here, and I tend to just wash them off. Sometimes I'll soak strawberries in a bowl. Today I'm just giving them a wash, and then I normally store them with like a piece of paper towel underneath them, just in a container like that. I have got lids for them as well, and then I've got a few raspberries. But yeah, that is pretty much all the fruit. Oh, I think I'm doing apples as well. Sorry, this is a lot of fruit content, but you get the point. Like, you can have it all kind of ready in the fridge. The boys tend to have like an apple a day for school. Like, I just chuck that into their bag for snacks. And now that that is all sorted for the week, I just feel like it's going to be really easy to grab and go. A lot of this storage is from the Home Edit. Some of it's from Amazon as well. I'll link as much as I can in the description down below. So yeah, this is the tray bake. So now all I have to do is actually put it into bowls. We're actually going to have one right now while we were filming. So I've put some in a bowl. and then we're going to package up a few others. So I'm just going to add in obviously the chicken, the peppers and the onion, the rice, just some black beans, some sweet corn as I said, and then some coriander, and then a little wedge of lime as well, or some salsa. You could add in sour cream, you could add in some cheese, whatever it is you want, but it's just a really nice healthy lunch that is as easy to eat as like a sandwich. Just to get it out, microwave it, you're good to go, and you've actually had a nice healthy lunch. And once that's done, it's also time to package up the chili. That is all done now. So I tend to do 1 scoop per person. Matt might have 2 scoops, but I'm just going to put it into 2 glass containers, one which we'll have tonight and keep in the fridge, and one which I will freeze as well once it's cool. When I also meal prep, I love to make muffins. This is quite a quick thing to do. It takes about 20 minutes, and my kids just love muffins, and they particularly like this recipe. It's a bit of a treat one. This isn't like a veggie muffin. This is like a nice banana and chocolate chip muffin. So I'll link the recipe that I use in the description down below. It's pretty much plain flour, baking powder, bicarb, 3 bananas. Obviously the more soft the better, and I'm actually putting it into my KitchenAid. Matt got me this last Christmas, and I'm actually starting to use it more and more now. Also gonna add in an egg, and then that is kind of mashing up all of the wet ingredients. I've added in a cup of sugar now as well, and some melted butter, and then I'm going to add my dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, and then let the KitchenAid mix that as well. So once that's all combined, I'm adding in more of a folding tool really, putting in the dry ingredients, and then once that's all mixed, I'm going to add in some chocolate chips as well, the whole bag. So this is why this is like a bit of a treat. And then once that's all mixed, I can just put it into my muffin cases. I've left the oven on. It's still warm from the tray bake, so I've got it on 180, and then I'm going to add some little muffin cases and then the mixture as well. I thought this would make 12. It actually only made 10. And one of my favorite hacks to do when I'm making muffins is to use an ice cream scoop. When you click the handle, it just throws it out so easily, so you don't need to use 2 spoons. It's just brilliant. So now I'm putting that into the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, and while I'm at it, I'm also going to make some really simple flapjacks. This is a Jamie Oliver recipe. It's only 5 ingredients, and it's so easy to remember. I'll link it in the description, but it's pretty much 100 grams of everything. 100 grams of oats, jumbo oats, 100 grams of flour, 100 grams of butter, 100 grams of, golden syrup, and then you can also add in 100 grams of like raisins or dried cranberries. I actually haven't added in any today because I didn't have any, so these don't have the fruit in it, but the kids will still really like these. Then you mix it all in like a food processor, and then put it into a little tray like this, and then pop it into the oven. I'm just pushing it down with my fingers, and I've put parchment paper on it, and then he always recommends to put like a little bit of golden syrup underneath it because it kind of burns and it's really nice. And I'm just putting a bit of butter onto my spoon because it was really sticky from the golden syrup. Then you put it in the oven and it comes out like this, and then I'm just going to chop it up and kind of have this ready for desserts. It's just a really nice one, and there's a little bit of oats in there as well, so you know, it's not all bad, but it's really sweet, like so good with a cup of tea. So I would recommend that recipe, and again, I'll link that one. And then at about the time that they were ready, the muffins were ready as well, so I'm going to put them into our little cake stand. These literally last like 24 hours in my house. Like the boys came home from school, they all had one, Matt had one, I had one. The next morning they all wanted it for a snack at school, so muffins don't last like 2 seconds in this house. But yeah, that is everything that I meal prepped today. As I said, it took me about 2 to 2.5 hours to make this, but it's just set me up for the week. I've got about 3 dinners, I have healthy lunches for 3 days, we've got 3 different days of breakfast, we've got muffins, we've got veg, fruit, So much can be done in that time. And if it is, like, if you ever have an afternoon free and you know you've got a busy week ahead, consider meal prepping, because it can just make your life so much easier. And once you get in the habit, it just gets easier every time that you do it. And it's quite nice, really. You can like turn on some music, listen to a podcast, and really set yourself up for the week. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some inspiration as well. Okay, so that is everything that I wanted to share with you guys today. I'm so pleased with how much I got done. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are any of these recipes ones that you'll try? And I'll see you in my next one.